conventional hair morality.
Thank you.
Nice. Character sheets.
Yep. If you still got them. Yes, I've got yours here.
Oh, it's right here.
Trey.
This is a percent off this.
Yes.
That's right.
I need a blank one in the book so I can copy down one of the generics.
Yeah.
Yes, I will print one out for you just a minute. Actually, you know what? I might have a... Oh, no, here's a blank one. Referring to it, really.
That looks pretty chill.
And then what dice do I need for this?
Ah, yes.
D10s.
How many D10s?
2.
Percent off.
All of them. Just all the ones you could find.
Yeah, you have to throw all of them.
So many D10s.
Some of them you throw away, I guess, in the course of the game.
Yes. You
Great.
try all of them and then keep the ones that don't sell.
Well, then we'll try the new ones I just bought.
These seem, at least in the dummy rolls, which are never the same as the actual playing rolls.
Right, yeah.
In the dummy rolls, they seem alarmingly fair.
Oh,
I'm
Right.
not sure I like that.
I met the creator of Chill today.
Oh, really?
Because he was I was walking past and I saw the book. I was like, oh. But it was like, the book was
I think I'm taking the
$50. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Is the book over on your shelf, Jason?
No, it's on my my iPad. I
Can we
gotta
get
go
it? It's
Yeah,
on-
we go get it.
Yeah, I'll get it off.
Should be on the bed.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
Oh yeah, these. I don't need these.
Yeah, I'm not enamored enough of the system, but I think
Yeah,
I'll
that's
buy
the-
$50.
I was like, I'll pick it up if it's like 25 or 30.
Yeah.
And it was hardcover, and I was like, I bet it's not already going to not be that. And then when I looked, it was $50. What? That's awfully bold
Yes.
for an unpopular system.
My daughter gonna insist on asking if she has to wear pajamas every single night.
Yes.
Now until she dies.
Small human.
Call you.
Mama, best to wear pajamas. You're 21. I don't care anymore. What do you want?
38, leave my house.
37 was okay, but 38 is where I draw the line. You end up in my
There's an
lap.
upper bound there.
What is happening? The dice are just appearing.
Let me get you to the part of the book.
Did I spawn any more of you?
Are you doing the spawning, or are they just being
I killed,
spawned?
I'm not
I killed
sure.
a poor level 1 in the Adventures League on my first day.
Nice.
It was completely
I don't know
unfortunate.
what
I didn't
you
just
want,
kill
Leon.
him, I smoked
Because you
him.
come
If-
up here like
if-
this, put your
if
paws
that-
on the chair.
If that, I
I wanna
assume it's a
pitch you
gentleman.
back
I
off.
guess
Yeah.
if it
I
was-
don't know, man.
If that gentleman
This
didn't
is
leave
funny.
crying, then he didn't do the job right.
No, unfortunately, he was in good spirits,
You're
which was
blind like you want something
it was one of
desperately,
those.
but when I try to
It was a
pet
level
you,
one,
you run away.
level 1 sorcerer, and
Sometimes
the
I
boss
can
at the end of the
throw a broken
module
under the chin.
did.
Even that
He had
is
9.
wrong.
He had 9 hit points, and the boss
Do you
did full
suspect that I
damage on
have
one of his
treats?
attacks for 18 points of damage,
I lack treats.
which
Just-
insta-gibbs.
Just
Like,
dead. Yep.
and I was like, oh no! And then for Adventures League too, for my players, I always I open roll, right?
Yep.
So that way
Yeah,
I don't
Oh, there we go.
I'm not tied to any liability on whether players think I'm
You want to
fudging
jump up
dice.
here? You can jump
And
up
so
if you want.
there was clear as day in the center of the board, and
Oh,
they were
I
like,
think it
well,
lasts that much though.
Damn.
damn.
It always takes you
He's
long.
like, I
Doesn't
can't
it?
even be mad. Like my soul got sucked from my body.
What do we have so far in party as far as play styles?
We have the dynamic duo
It's a
of
cop duo of
Idiots.
yes.
Idiots.
tired cop. and-
At least 4 levels in idiot.
Idiots and tired people.
My character is a realtor in all her 80s glory.
Yeah, this takes place in 1986, by the way.
Okay then.
Ghostbusters has come out.
So I have a high research, communication, and gossip, and I can shoot people.
This is just like Call of Cthulhu, so it's more investigative oriented than combat
Do we have a thief?
oriented.
Kind of. I've got larceny and drive.
There's breaking and entering is involved, I guess.
You're also a cop.
yeah, I was looking at
Cops
it.
learn those skills too.
Exactly.
So
Oh, right. I didn't
It's
say we don't
inverse
have-
larceny.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's legal breaking.
Breaking and entering and helping.
yes, but you're also a drug addict.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we don't know that.
Who doesn't?
That's to cope with my fame.
Who doesn't have a little issue, a little minor?
A little oxygen.
Yeah, skeleton
Yeah.
in the closet.
It's
Okay.
literally famous because I solved a celebrity murder, and as a result, I've got burnt out and addiction.
Oh, you were the guy who solved
counteract
Gary
that.
Coleman's murder.
Yeah. I'm the one who figured it out.
I forgot to say this is an alternate 1986 where Gary Coleman was brutally murdered.
I have an incredibly awkward librarian that
Probably due to some
does the
spectral
art,
force.
which is like magic.
Yeah, the art. Although otherwise the year is exactly the same. It's just that one.
Oh, that's right. I have the sensing art.
Yeah, we've got sensing, and then what?
Astral attack and mental shield.
So that's
And postcog.
So you can like, I can like kill ghosts.
She's
and,
corporeal.
incorporeal, yeah. And I'm sensing.
Ghost murderer.
I have an East Texas farmer who is, in fact, completely artless.
in more ways than
Surprise
one.
of no one.
Exactly.
surprisingly enough, I have no good skills besides close quarters combat.
We're just, that's like, all right.
Photography.
But what about your character?
Mean.
Oh,
Rude.
Woof.
it's gonna be one of those nights. We're all gonna die.
I gave Robert close quarters combat. I think that's pretty good.
That ain't nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's not nothing. Come on.
Many people would like such a skill.
Oh yeah, I can draw and I'm really good at CQC. Come at me with a knife, no problem. I think that's fair.
Looking at this character sheet, and now I'm like, oh my god, I put so many edges and drawbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have done so many, but it's okay.
I only did one. I just took burnout.
It's just that I really liked a lot of them that were.
Did you say you took burnt out?
Yeah.
I think we've got at least 3 people with burnt out.
She's a realtor in the Midwest.
Wait,
She's fucking
who's
tired. man.
Burnt.
Yeah.
Burnt. For various reasons too. You've been on the force too long that you've kind of seen everything.
Yes, fallen.
Realtor
Yeah, right.
Tired
and
of people.
burnt out from fame and the expectations placed
Oh
upon
man,
you.
yeah, this.
She's also burnt out from like touching things in houses and like seeing all this weird shit.
Well, then you should get a better job if you don't like to touch things.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I'm just awkward and clumsy.
How does burnout manifest itself in game?
You only gain back half the willpower.
Ah.
Half the will.
Willpower at a time, yeah.
How do we use / lose willpower?
Willpower is one of those things where if you take mental trauma, you will lose willpower,
Okay.
right? And if you don't have willpower, you'll take stresses, so like you'll be overwhelmed, right?
Right.
Traumatized, major, and then those will are those penalize your skills, right? Just like regular damage would, like physical injury.
Okay. So you've got to lose all your willpower before you start taking traumas?
No,
No, but once you lose your willpower, then it defaults back to trauma, and that's what you start losing, right?
you can lose trauma if you are
If you're wounded or something, right?
basically if you like say fail some kind of check to resist gore or something, which is a legitimate thing, and you take the minor trauma,
Oh, I see.
you're going to minus 10 from your willpower, so your current willpower is now 40 or whatever. And if you run out of willpower, you become overwhelmed, and that means that kind of like with injury, like you just next time you're traumatized, you just it doesn't matter. You like click the next box, and then the next box, and then the next box.
Oh, wow.
Right, and then it sort of all cascades on you until you are essentially paralyzed with fear or helplessness or whatever. Right. Yeah. In the case of injury, you just flat out die.
Okay.
Did I have the coffee just finish?
Yep.
Because I'm dying to have one of those cookies. Oh.
It is
Perfect mix.
8 o'clock. Espresso dark roast.
Excellent, thank you.
That's what I contribute.
You contribute more than coffee.
Yes, you do.
Sustenance-wise. So I started playing Wolfenstein New Order,
Yeah.
and I do enjoy the gameplay, but there's one thing that it does really well. It makes me very angry at the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Not like angry because the gameplay's bad or because the mechanics are shit or anything like that. I spend a lot of the game very angry just at the antagonist.
Sure.
And then I get happy that a game can do that. I haven't experienced that since
What is this?
Wolfenstein New Order.
There's no Wolfenstein games. Yeah. Well,
They write them very mean, but
Nazis suck.
very well.
Like, and I'm probably only
The more you know.
I'm probably only halfway through the game, so there's probably still a lot more to happen. But when I thought that they were going to find and kill the woman that nurses you back to health, like in the very beginning,
Mm-hmm.
like in that first scene, my first response was just rage.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Let me out.
Yeah,
Let me deal with this. Yeah.
Can't wait
No. Yeah. That's
was awesome.
That was one of the refreshing things when New Order came out, was that not only was it a good shooter, like soundly, mechanically
Yeah.
speaking,
Oh, yeah.
but it was also, it really leaned into that kind of grindhouse sort of pulp aesthetic, and like actually tried to tell a very quote unquote legitimate story with like character work and everything like that, and it worked, and it was enjoyable.
And I can choose if I want to sneak around and stab people,
Yeah.
or if I just want to dual wield shotguns all the time. Dual wielding shotguns is awesome, and I appreciate that. Like, your movement speed is impacted by, am I dual wielding these two massive shotguns or a knife?
Yeah, it shows that they gave that to, it was a Swedish developer, or Machine Games, I think it's Swedish, but
I think so.
they gave it to a developer who was like wanted to shepherd this series into
You put a lot of thought into some
yeah,
really
just
small
put
stuff.
some serious thought into it. Yeah.
Yummy,
so that's
thank
good.
you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Swedish developer.
What game is this? I came in on
The new Wolfenstein game. Do you remember back in the PC in the 90s?
Yeah, I heard
It was the late
they
80s. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Swedish developer, the same people who did Minecraft, right?
We combined what we needed.
No, that's
gardening.
well, I mean,
That would be cool, though.
honestly, at this
And I thought
point,
it would fit too. But I was
honestly,
So-
at this point, you could probably point at a developer and say they're Swedish and be right like 40% of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Has it gotten
Isn't
to be
it?
that way?
I just saw it and I was
Well,
like,
a lot of popular
Yeah, okay.
developers these days, they're either based in Sweden or where's CD Projekt Red? Poland?
Yeah.
CG Product Red, like I would trust them with my firstborn almost.
Yeah, so they've earned a lot of goodwill, and they're based
and
in
you're welcome to
Poland.
put them on the printer or something if they're in the way.
I think
They're,
I can make this work. My
CD
little
Projekt
desk.
Red is working on the new
Cyberpunk game.
the new game based
Yeah.
on Cyberpunk 2020.
Right.
Yeah. So-
Yeah. They've got. I'm trying to remember what exactly it is. It's this interesting setup where I think they're getting like some decent kickbacks from the Polish government because they're like literally that well known and that
Sure,
large of a
yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
And they straight up said like it's supposed to be a political thing.
Mm-hmm. Like they're making it work.
Okay, let me see if I remember how to play this game.
Good point. I mean, like, do whatever, man. You're empowered. You are our chill master. Chill master.
Sure, yeah. Well, in that case, I don't need to worry. I just need to chill.
Just
Something that just happened.
Just everybody roll something, and we'll see who wins.
nice.
Whatever, man.
You know, it's like your life, man.
Yeah.
Have another cookie.
Rachel, will you get the poker chips out of the
Yeah.
bag?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need those for the tokens.
Choker pips.
And we're gonna play chill. Everybody toke up.
Don't bogart that joint. You pass it.
And also, we have
There
to
is
go on the
one
balcony
rule.
because no one can smoke inside the room.
Fair.
That's it. We have standards. At least.
Edibles it is.
I mean, what do you think these are?
Nice.
Should have mentioned that before. This could be real fun again.
Right up there with D&D and D.
No, you did that.
What happened?
The bag always falls down. I can't get it to stay upright. Only Jason
That's a real
can.
dense cookie.
He's got the man.
Do you guys remember what the balance was in terms of
I wrote it down. I think
light
like one.
and dark side tokens?
It should be at the top of my paper somewhere.
All players,
Oh,
none,
no,
of
maybe
the,
on
none of the, none of the
Oh.
DM side.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 to whatever the number was.
There's 8 total?
Yeah, 8 total.
It's the number of players plus the GM plus 1 is the total number. So at that point, it was 1, 2, 3. You weren't
Would
there.
that be
1,
you?
2, 3, 4,
But
5,
Lance was
6,
here.
7, 8. Yeah, so it
Yeah,
would have been
plus
8.
Lance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think they all started light. I remember that because I was benevolence. I remember.
I think we had like
3,
2 or 3 dark.
5,
Yeah,
I
I
remember
think.
we used a couple.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You used one for a roll, and then Rachel and I both used one for a power.
All right, we're good. Got a character.
That seems right. Okay, great.
Opened my laptop up because I was looking at that horror games list to get ideas for the story, and staring me dead in the eye right now is probably the best of the worst.
The names, I totally forgot.
Remothered,
Oh.
tormented father.
Yeah, it's not
Fantastic.
not a great name. I have seen that one advertised.
Oh,
So
I was disappointed at how bad Agony turned out to be.
yeah. Oddly
I'm
enough,
trying to remember now.
you know,
yeah.
a game whose entire thing is to be like a preteen provocateur. Turns out the gameplay is really bad too. Who knew?
What?
And it's this game that came out recently that really leaned into like, imagine you are a suburban housewife in 1982.
Oh boy.
You have
Wait,
heard of
trying.
some children playing something called Dungeons and Dragons. And all that you understand of it is that it is an instruction tool for our Dark Lord Satan, right? Imagine, as that person, what you think Dungeons and Dragons is like. I imagine you're getting like torture and like Satan's minions and darkness and like all this
Romp
stuff.
through hell.
I'll put you. I'll
Everyone's
remind you that
naked for
these
some
were the
reason.
days in which I learned to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly, yeah.
And this was the attitude of most of my friends' parents.
When it was cool.
I actively try to foster that.
No,
after
when
my
it
wife's
was
parents.
absolutely not cool.
Retrospectively cool, I guess.
Right.
But anyway,
retrospectively, sure.
Agony is essentially like that. It's a game where you're like going through hell and stuff like that, and there are all these like, you know, it's like here are these demon babies and like, you know, topless women or like ripping their chests open, like blood fountains
Sick.
and like
The point of the
yeah.
game is to be over the top and just
Yeah.
terrible.
yeah.
It really
Unfortunately,
leans in on the
It
baby
was
imagery.
actually just bad.
Unfortunately, it's also bad.
Yeah.
Like not fun.
It's effectively a walking simulator and 3D platformer at parts.
Yeah.
Oh.
So not
Yeah,
great.
That's bad.
it's great if you need inspiration for a metal album cover.
Sure. Yeah. At least the video game of Dante's Inferno, and I can't believe that is literally a thing that exists.
you mean
Yeah, it
Gods
is
of War?
pretty bad.
Yeah. At least that had the goodwill to bother to be an actual game. You know what I mean? Like, there's some action stuff platforming going on.
Fighting death wasn't cool. And it didn't happen. Yeah,
I mean, if I were to do that, I would just play the Horseman game.
Darksiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted all of those mechanics that you enjoyed in other games done okay,
Better.
in a kind of a mediocre way. Okay.
So we've got a character, I've got my dice ready to die.
Who are you, by the way? I need to.
I am Grimbold.
Could you?
Grimble.
Grimbold.
Nice. You ain't from around here, are you?
Is that your first name? Or?
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Do you have a surname?
James. I always forget you're going to ask about that.
James is your last name.
Yeah, James is the last name. Grimbold James.
Okay.
Boy, I can
Some
already
kind
see
of-
the confusion on Joe Don's face.
Some kind of mistake at the hospital.
Yeah.
there was some file keeping that was done incorrectly.
Some drunk file keeper.
I just went off of my birth certificate.
I'll see a
where,
comma
like,
here.
Looks right.
the last name was wrong, the blood type was wrong, the location of birth was wrong.
Wow.
So you are who are you in a nutshell?
We are a kleptomaniac who's afraid of loud noises.
What do you do?
Steal things.
Policeman.
So you're
Professional
a burglar.
criminals.
Yeah.
Straight up a thief.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
That
And
would
my
make
history,
sense why we might run into
Yep.
you.
I stole a necromantic relic.
Ooh.
Sure.
Which is how I got involved in this, yeah. Because my drive is just to get to the next thing. I don't live a lavish lifestyle. I just take the things and then give them to my fence friend. I just want to get the next thing. It's the next challenge. I want to steal it. It's there. And once I have it, then we'll move on to the next thing.
Okay. So it's all empty and meaningless for you. It's all about
Yeah, it's like completing the mission. I don't give a shit about the pop-up.
yeah.
I just want to complete the mission.
Yeah.
Because it feels good.
Yeah. Well, no, it feels less bad. Let's be honest.
Fair.
This is what I do instead of heroin. I steal things.
Do you want to put Zoe to bed before we get started?
Yes.
Because it's like 8:25. Okay. Excuses.
I've seen some cops go down bad paths with drugs.
So
and I
it's,
just decided that was a bad idea.
Whoever is
Well, I make sure nobody knows about that.
whoever
well,
is the most adept at
try.
remembering what we did last time, explain to Zach where we are.
Well, we broke into a cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're high. We I think we should start with
We're
what we
Save-On
are,
boys.
right? We are part of a group of people who like to.
Investigate paranormal happenings.
Yes.
Yes, and
Does anybody remember the state? that we're in?
Ohio.
Ohio.
Right.
We're in Toledo, I think.
Yes.
That sounds right.
Checking out Memorial Park Cemetery, in which one Simon Boff videotaped himself going down, or Betamax taped himself going down
In
into
its future.
Yeah. Going down into a bricked up crypt, effectively, or catacombs. Was wandering through there and caught video of blood appearing on a wall, spelling out
Coffee.
That's right here.
repent, comma, be humble.
Repent and be humbled.
Yes.
And like, be humble and repent, like I thought it was.
Mm.
I mean, it's the same gist. I don't
Ah,
think it's
not
going to come
quite.
down to
No,
order.
there's a difference
different.
between repent and be humbled.
Yes.
Or humble.
Be humble and repent.
They're quite different.
Yeah.
That D, the D matters.
Yeah. Yeah. The participle makes all the difference.
That being said, we got like little details on that kind of thing. He mentioned that he felt guilt and scrutiny while he was down there. Rachel's character Sherry and my character Connor went to go and have a nice little chat with Simon, figure out a little bit more about things. Managed to get the tape from him by pulling the cop routine of, well, you did break and enter into public property and you have videotape evidence that you did it, so we'll just take that evidence off your hands.
Okay.
Kind of fast talk that out of him.
There's a Betamax tape.
You should never videotape yourself breaking the law. That's a bad idea.
Bad idea. We all kind of gathered back together. Had collected, some of the other groups had collected some information about other strange happenings potentially in the area. The possibility of a ghost nun. Maria Santiago.
What a great sentence.
And brother Carlos, who is buried locally.
Is he a ghost as well?
Maybe. He might
Okay.
be our ghost. We're not sure.
Yeah, Simon thought a ghost nun.
Mm-hmm.
We take Simon not seriously.
Yeah, he clearly saw Ghostbusters. I referred to this as a Class 4 apparition.
Did you take him, Simon?
Did you stab him?
No. In the heart by stealing his tape, yes.
Metaphor.
But, yeah. After that, we did a bit of a scout out of the graveyard, kind of waited for the sun to go down.
Jodan.
Jodan.
Hit up the local hardware store, got some stuff for breaking and entering purposes. We got that over the fence. Dealt with a groundkeeper who almost stumbled across us.
Somebody did. You did.
Yeah.
None of the rest of us know that he...
The groundskeeper is not currently a problem.
Hopefully.
Okay. In theory.
Yeah, theoretically.
He's eventually going to wake up, though.
They do have an office on site that we know has a bricked up or cemented up, covered up in some way, entrance to the catacombs.
It's true.
And the lights there have still been on since the guards have left. So we're not sure if it's just to leave the lights on for security kind of thing, or if people are still working at this hour.
What the hell they'd be working on?
Exactly. And we pretty much ended by breaking into the catacombs, working our way down, finding the portion of wall where this happened.
Where Simon filmed himself.
Mm-hmm. Sherry touched the wall to do a little bit of her artwork. And Hazel also
looked into the ghost realm.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Did you see anything? Do we know that yet?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw an old man.
I saw something, but you do not know yet.
Yes. Oh, okay. There's an old guy sitting in a chair, I believe.
Beyond the wall, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, beyond the brick wall.
So
that's where we ended.
Yeah, cool.
Yes.
I feel kind of
him looking at me.
Yep.
That's right. He looked up and took notice of you. Watching you, watching him. Thank you. For getting my reference.
Okay.
So I could easily see you just like having been down here, or
Well, there was.
I
Going
imagine I
after a
probably
thing.
would stumble upon you guys after being kind of baffled that all the guards are gone and the groundskeeper is nowhere to be found.
well,
Am
it is
I-
after hours.
Well, yeah, but that's the only reason I would be here.
That's fair.
So yeah, I can see myself stumbling upon you guys as I came down here to steal something.
Yeah, guards of late were surrounding the area, and that seems fairly conspicuous to anybody who's even remotely in the area. So now that they're not here, you're like, oh man, what's done here?
They did they find you? No, they almost found you. Somebody almost found you while you were hiding.
Oh yeah.
That's what it was.
No, I killed like 92 people. Like 700.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the knocked out guard upstairs.
Yep.
He's just face down in the grass.
Yeah, we did not bind him or move him in any way, shape, or form.
Because we don't know about him.
Yeah, we don't know about him. You know about him.
So
Only
I'm
Brian
trying to
knows
remember.
about it.
Did we end up breaking in at the opposite end, or did we go around to the west end and go through the hole that was already there?
I think we went through the hole that was already there.
Okay.
Yes, you'd brought the materials
Oh, I
in
remember
if
now.
necessary, but you had eventually just went into the already
But we're
open.
going to use the materials to break down the brick wall and keep going.
Yeah.
Is the
That was
assumption there.
Okay.
I also
these two-
saw something on the wall that had the writing. It was like,
Is it like an after image kind of thing? Like you could see it spelled out without the blood there?
no, it's. I think he described it as like a ball of energy or something.
I vaguely remember
Yeah,
something
that does
about
sound
that.
And so, did the videotape guy make the
That I don't
hole,
recall.
or did the hole just exist and he came through it?
He made the hole.
He made the hole.
Which
okay.
is why it was a crime.
I think it was Stephen's first notion that was correct, is that you could see the text, even though the words, even though they weren't
Okay.
like you could see the sort of spectral energy
Okay.
that had manipulated the.
Okay, so that's what I saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the message is like
There's
a
something
series
familiar
of
about a
tubes.
ball of energy. Have to roll the tape back.
Okay, so you're all deep within the catacombs underneath the Toledo Park Memorial Cemetery. Memorial Park Cemetery, is that right?
Memorial Park, yes.
This ghostly gentleman has noticed you, taken a good look at you, and now I need you
Oh boy.
To die.
to die. I need you to
No, Mr. Paul.
roll against your current stamina.
Everyone?
No, just
Hazel.
just Hazel.
Oh yeah, I felt that.
Oh, when
big
you
time.
use those, are they gone permanently?
No, I
No,
just
she's
turned
not.
it into a light
Oh, okay, cool, sweet. Also, that would be cool. I was like, that's unique. It gets flipped and then used.
And what does using those do in this system?
So you guys can turn these tokens, these light ones, dark.
Does it tell me on the back? Should I just have flipped over the paper?
It should say on the it's either on the back or on the very bottom right of the front sheet.
It's on the bottom right of the front sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Would it be helpful if I made this not fail?
Not sure I'm at liberty to say that. I mean,
I can neither
sure,
confirm
it's probably
nor
helpful
deny.
not to fail things.
What is failure?
Well, how much did you fail by?
20. So I could do it with 2 tokens.
Okay.
Oh, can you only do it once?
No, you can use as many as you want.
Yep, multiple uses on a roll. Can do after roll. But I have to do before, I would imagine you know what the consequences are.
Sure. It's up to you.
What's the worst thing?
Yeah, let's pass that.
Okay, so you're going to flip 2.
Yeah.
So these are going to become dark.
Seems like a good way to start.
Yeah.
No, it's a great idea. Don't worry
Hazel
about it.
not like getting her eyes burned out? Probably, yeah.
So, Hazel, you see this this figure as he is sitting in the chair. He looks up and stares you directly in the eyes, and you suddenly feel a kind of a burning sensation move through your body. It just barely begins to touch sort of the surface of you. It feels deep. It feels like imagine indigestion, but throughout your entire body. After, say, Thai pad curry.
Indeed.
You manage to feel as if it sort of flares and then starts to recede.
And acid's kicking in.
And you see the ghostly figure slowly get up out of the chair and begin walking towards you very decisively.
Okay.
Well, are we ready to take this wall down?
I got some good news and some bad news. We're definitely in the right place. The bad news is there's a ghost on the other side of this wall, and he's coming towards me, and I think he meant to do me harm.
Alright.
Damn shame.
What?
Pop the button on the gun.
Okay.
I'll push my pickaxe.
Any ghost people? We got.
You're just asking?
I'm just looking around. I'm like looking at our 2, cat.
Oh, he's coming this way too. So
I mean, it's just
good.
can we deal with him?
Do you
Is
want
that-
to just... Can you just turn it off?
Yeah, can you just
Or
delete,
don't turn it off.
Can you
Keep
delete
us-
the
keep us
ghost?
posted. Where is he?
Light switch.
Yeah, just.
Oh, Leon, look.
I
want
don't
you to-
exactly
will you
know
come
how
hang
long
out
that
with me
lasts,
or
or
stop?
if it has a time limit.
Oh, the what's the name of the power?
Ghosts.
Ghost... Something about Ghost World?
The ghost site. It's the one you get for having incorporated.
Incorporeal. Eyes of the Dead. Yeah.
Ghost World. Would that
For the
work
remainder
us?
of the scene.
Oh,
Oh, good. So no.
Cheesy.
So no is the answer there. Come on. Just come on.
So you flipped that as soon as we got down into in this particular section. This scene's not over yet, so you can see this thing. You can see that it has begun to it has made its way away from the chair. It is now pushing its way through the brick wall. There's oddly enough a little bit of resistance there, as if the ghost were, say, moving akin to a human being moving through sort of water. It's beginning to push through with its shoulders up, its head down, heading directly for you, seemingly unaware of your
Could we see it?
compatriots.
Could we-
No.
Yeah, both doing
Where
the
is it?
police tactical flashlight.
is
and
it
gun
close enough for
at
me
the
to
wall.
attack it?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'll do that.
Okay.
Work your magic.
Okay, so to activate one of my powers, I do have to flip a token.
Dang, you're gonna dark us right on out.
Well, it is a ghost, so I
I think
kind
it's a
of.
guaranteed way to do it.
No, you have to do it.
Ah, okay.
When an envoy uses a discipline during a case, turns a token dark, or marks an arcane takeaway, rolls an activation check, and then reduces the willpower by the result of the check.
Oh. So that saps your willpower to use it.
Yes.
Interesting.
So I'm
That makes sense,
interested
though.
to see how.
So I can either flip a token or mark an arcane.
You have to flip a token, I think is what you said.
Either flip a token or mark an arcane takeaway. However, you still have to do the activation roll.
Yeah.
Ah.
And what was the arcane takeaway thing again?
If at any point your actions relate to your takeaway and to your whatever they're called, the drives and history, then you gain a takeaway,
Which was some sort of bonus.
which is a something.
It lets you effectively... It's treated like a light token.
Arcane takeaways, you can mark them to activate a discipline of the art or gain insight. And the point is that you can only do that essentially like once a case. Right?
Okay. Okay, so
So that's like a freebie. It's like, okay, I'm not going to turn a token dark. I'm going to mark my arcane takeaway.
So I have an arcane history takeaway. I think that's what they are. The histories suffered the effects of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So can I mark that?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, absolutely.
Your self-preservation has made you not want to do that. Something that's,
I mean, yeah, but it's sort of however you justify it to yourself. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
Okay, in that case, roll an activation, which basically you'll have a, let's see here, activation check.
Okay.
You're rolling against your willpower, yeah,
Okay.
right? Your current willpower, of course.
of course.
All numbers.
Of course, of course.
And I failed.
By
You just failed.
Yes.
It wasn't a botch. It wasn't a doubles.
No, it was
Okay.
not a botch.
All right. Here's your choice. Either it doesn't work, or it does work, but you lose 20 willpower.
Yeah, there we go. This is what I want to see.
I think I want this to work. So
Okay,
I'll
so,
take it.
so drop 20 willpower.
And does that cause me trauma?
No, not technically.
What's your willpower?
You mean current now?
No, before you lost 20 points.
45.
Ooh, now you're 25.
Yeah.
So what
does
would
hurt.
cause him to take trauma? I'm just wondering mechanics wise.
I would. It depends on horrifying situations, particular,
Okay.
like note, or like corpses, or the transformation.
So it's
of
not a
thing into
function of
werewolf.
how much willpower you lose at once or anything like that.
And well, I mean, if you fail the check, you will gain you'll lose a certain amount of willpower,
I see.
depending on how traumatized you are.
I see. Okay.
Okay, so now I can make an attack, right?
Yes, it does activate. You just had to take that hit. Okay.
Let's see if I can actually roll under something this time.
Kick his ass, see your ass.
Hey, so.
Jesus Christ.
Is that
That's a 90.
Just
Where?
a 93.
Do you want? We have the big bag of dice somewhere. If you just want to trade those
some real
out
dice.
for something else.
Some dice that don't have it in
plenty of
That's
dice.
true.
Okay.
She does have slots, yeah.
melt them, never use them again.
There's some dice you use for Dungeons and Dragons, and there's some dice you save for Risk.
So this astral attack, you're essentially sort of imbuing a melee or
Yeah.
an unarmed attack with kind of like spectral interference, right? How exactly are you doing that? What are you using?
Sacrificial dagger. I know
Right,
innate
yes.
sacrificial dagger.
So you are using the ornate sacrificial dagger and kind of like, are you slashing, stabbing? How are you doing?
Stabbing, yes.
Shanking.
Okay, so you move forward towards this figure, and you stab out with your dagger, and you find that it goes completely through the ghost, including just a little bit of your wrist as well. You can feel the blood in your hand and your wrist go immediately cold.
Yeah,
That's
imagine
fun.
Brian
So-
and Connor are kind of like pushed to the side.
We see her step
This
forward
hazel. Just
and we take this dagger out and just stab at nothing.
Stab at nothing. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
Have you ever seen a ghost?
can
we
at
don't
what
even
point
know
can we
if
act?
Now it's time to roll initiative because the
Okay.
attack happens.
All right.
Oh, gee.
So the way initiative works. Sorry, roll initiative is a
Yeah,
it's an old phrase.
Yes.
Sure.
Current stamina, top to bottom. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
So highest to
Yes.
lowest?
Ties are resolved with reflexes checks.
Okay.
Yeah, so highest to lowest. Yeah.
Okay. So we don't roll, we just
List.
Yeah, you list down, and then if you're tied, you do
stamina, right?
Yeah, stamina.
My stamina is 60.
I do love
So
stamina.
Jodan for 60.
50.
This makes
Yeah.
things clean.
I also
sure.
have 50.
Okay, so the two of you need to roll reflexes.
I also have 50.
The three of you need to roll reflexes.
Yeah, I've shifted praxis over to just a set number for it. 40.
I failed my
I
roll.
failed.
That's a 99.
So we all failed.
Just give me your straight results.
51.
86,
Did you all fail?
Yes.
Okay, give me straight numbers.
80,
51.
86.
99.
So for a second.
Yes.
Something good in this game, so.
I'm very
So
impressed.
Hazel, and then Sherry.
That was like a botch, so.
On a treasure table, I would have been,
Oh, very happy.
yeah, probably very happy.
Sherry and Brian.
But the only treasure I get is ghosts.
Okay, Zach, what did
55.
what's
55.
your current stamina is 55? Cool. And Grendel, or whatever the hell your name
I
is.
just didn't know if I hadn't yet stumbled upon you guys.
I want to watch 13th Warrior again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Okay, current stamina. All right. Jodan,
Yeah.
you can go.
Alright then. So I take that pickaxe I'm holding, and judging from where she just stabbed, I try to put the pickaxe about where the face should be, assuming she was stabbing its gut.
Okay.
Alright. Not holding out high hopes that this is going to do anything at all.
Sure, I
Better
mean,
than
hey,
not
hey.
doing anything.
You're but a simple farmer. You respond in your own idiosyncratic
My
way.
idiosyncratic way. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And try to kick some ass.
Sure. Yeah.
So, how does this work? I'm gonna roll what?
Okay.
My
Quarters combat.
Yes.
close quarters combat. Okay. Right. I'm starting to remember this now. Okay, that's 60. All right, 65. So I can buy that down somehow, can't I?
There's a token.
If you turn one of these dark, you can add 10 to your target number, so that instead your CQC for that moment would be
There's
70.
So I would
You would succeed in that.
succeed. Okay. Is there any other way I can do it, like with takeaways or anything?
Yes.
Like that?
Personal takeaways.
Okay.
What you can do is, like the arcane takeaways,
Yeah.
if you mark them,
Okay.
they will do the exact same thing of adding 10 to a target number.
Okay. And there are two boxes here, left and right, and you explained this last week, and I've forgotten what you said. So if I'm going to mark my personal takeaway,
Left.
The left is
light.
the light hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
okay.
That's when you're activating it. The right hand is where I'm activating it against you. Does that make sense?
Okay, it does. So what are the consequences to my checking this?
You
You can't use it again
Oh, okay. All right.
until the next case, which
Okay.
is like the whole kit and caboodle. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, why not? All right. I'm going to activate it.
Okay, so that's a 70 and 65. Yeah, so you're
65 now
good to go.
succeeds.
Yes.
So,
Ghost punch.
now what do I
Just
do?
pick up. Okay, so you move forward next to Hazel. Take your pickaxe, swing.
Uh-huh.
How are you doing? Is this sort of an overhead thing, or you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to avoid caving in the heads of any of my companions. So
Sure.
I'm swinging over the... That's why I'm going for the head, because otherwise I might hit
So you're
her.
swinging over Hazel's head.
Yeah, over
Right,
everyone's heads, because otherwise there's no way
So you
to...
swing.
Uh-huh. Does it hit the brick wall behind?
The way Hazel has sort of moved slightly towards the brick wall, you guys aren't sort of right onto it.
Okay.
So what you see is your pickaxe,
Whiff. Nothing.
and nothing happens.
Much as expected.
According to everyone else, it just looks like Jodan walked up, and then nothing.
Did I see anything special?
You saw the pickaxe move effortlessly through the form of the specter.
Jodan, I don't think that's going to work.
I think you're right.
Okay. Grimbold.
I do nothing.
Sure. That's fine.
I just
Honestly, that's probably the most reasonable thing you can do.
at this point I've watched somebody stab at the midair, and then I watched somebody swing a pickaxe at nothing.
You think we're crazy?
Crazy
Darkness.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I take a step away from the group. And
Sure, yeah. You kind of...
Do we know about him, or is he...
No, you don't know about him.
Okay.
He just happens to be... You're basically looking at this scene from around a sort of a corner. Hazelden, it's your turn again.
Alright, so how does my power work? Does it stay active, or do I have to reactivate it every attack?
You talking about the astral attack thing?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's every time.
Oh, God.
They're like spells.
It's expensive. Dang.
it seems like you're the only one that can actually do anything.
Mhm.
Yes, it does.
That seems worth a token.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
I
Yeah.
mean, we could always haul ass, but...
Yeah. And I have to roll under my current willpower?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What's that? 1/4?
20?
25, yeah.
It's doable.
Yeah.
It's not great, admittedly, but it's doable.
Now, keep in mind you can spend more tokens to adjust that number, obviously.
And I'm also...
To Still
Okay.
City.
Okay, I'll try it.
Slightly less.
So you're going to flip a token just to activate the power.
Yeah.
And then you're going to make that check, that activation check.
Is that a 6 or a 3?
That is a 5.
Oh!
Very good.
No, that is a 54.
Big difference.
Oh, no,
Okay.
34. No, it is a 3. So
Oh,
it is
man, pins and needles here.
34.
Okay, we can do
34.
that. That's just
So-
one token.
One token.
Okay.
Oh, good lord.
It has manifested.
So that's 34 out of what you had before, so 35.
Yep.
So there's 25 plus the 10 that you got from there. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's just a success. Okay. You're going to lose 10 willpower.
Oh,
Oh, good
jeez.
heavens.
All right.
This is not going well for me.
Well, as you is our only weapon, that means it's also not going well for us.
Yeah.
Okay, now we do that attack check, right? Yeah. So you're going to use your sacrificial dagger again, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
At least it's a higher number than your willpower.
Ooh. I got a 20 out of 50.
Holy shit.
Hey,
Nice.
there we go. All right.
Nothing
So-
happens.
You give him a
High
paper cut.
success.
Congratulations.
Ooh, that's when we leave. And we never come back to Ohio.
Sounds like a plan. Grab Hazel and run.
Yeah.
Make Ohio the other state we don't go to, with New Jersey being the first.
I think at this point, with my willpower down, I'm incoherently battling.
Hang on
You
there,
won't be
little
overwhelmed until you lose all your willpower, but yeah, I mean, you're not doing great.
Definitely sweating, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We have used up.
I
great
have
deal of
expert
goodwill.
level in astral attack, if that means anything.
I
It
mean,
gives you a plus
for your-
15 to it?
No, expert gives you like
10?
30.
Plus 30, I think.
Yeah, expert is 30.
15, 30, and 50.
Well, for the arts, it's different. Like, I have an expert in postcog, which means I can see a year into the past.
yeah, it's a gradation.
I see.
It's not the same thing.
Effectiveness.
Oh.
Yeah. Injury scale.
So that could mean a thing.
Okay. All right. So you again thrust out with your sacrificial dagger. You see that as you concentrate, you see that the sacrificial dagger begins to kind of glow, sort of misty blue.
Do we see that as well?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Everyone can see the dagger sort of become kind of luminescent and smoky, in a sense. And you see the figure. It looks like, in the way that you might kind of push your finger through plastic wrap or something like that. There's a bit of resistance, and then it goes through. You can see the dagger push and then go into the spectre, and you can see it sort of look down, confused. There's a twinge of pain across its face, and it it now has this sort of. I assume are you holding it in, or
Yeah.
So now it has this sort of dagger inside it, and it looks. It is becoming angry. It's very clear because it has facial features. I'm not happy with this.
Okay, good news. I heard it. Bad news. It's really pissed now. Better news. I don't think I have another one of those in me.
So,
Oh, good.
It's okay.
Could I use sensing the unknown to know how else to hurt this thing?
Magically boop him on the nose. See if
that's going to tell you where it is, right?
Technically, Sense the Unknown does not do that.
Okay,
magical nose
what
boobs.
could I...
Oh, we could all do Sense the Unknown, can't we? I mean,
Sure,
our
I just
chances
think-
are low if we're
I
not.
think mine's just the highest, because I have a 33.
If you get a high enough success,
I just
I
want to know,
might be able to give you information about.
like, what to do to help, basically.
Does Sense in the Unknown take an action, or is it just something that you can do?
Well, if you're making a check during your thing, I mean, you gotta. It's a thing you're doing, so
Okay.
you gotta take
So-
a moment to kind of concentrate.
Okay.
Alright, well, let's just see what happens.
Sure, if you want to do it.
Nope.
41.
41 of 33.
Okay.
So close, but not good enough.
You do not feel the presence of the unknown.
I definitely fucking should.
That dagger
Right.
is glowing.
Well, in a non-magical sense,
Could
I was
just
going
be,
to.
bioluminescent paint.
I was going to attempt to use some seasoned envoy knowledge to maybe understand, like maybe I know a little bit about ghosts, or at least like general like.
That's fair. You know
manual
some
knowledge.
field bits about
Yeah.
about ghosts. Yeah. So generally speaking.
Oh, okay. I was ready to roll for that, but no.
I mean, if you're a seasoned envoy, the
Okay.
assumption is that you have like
Yeah, some
maybe
knowledge,
cliff notes about
Yeah, I was
a
like,
handful. Ghosts are a pretty common, creature to deal with. Yeah. So, you know that ghosts, generally speaking, they obviously they are impervious to sort of traditional physical means of attack and disruption.
Take out my silver bullets.
You know that they tend to.
+1 longsword.
They usually try to interact with creatures either by appearing as an apparition, or in the case of the wall, the blood writing, and doing the rite, sort of like either creating text on mirrors or using blood or whatever, however that may manifest. You know they have to accomplish some kind of goal, and
Oh, they're here for a reason.
they're here for a reason. Yeah. So.
Pretty low with Caspers.
Essentially, you know that the only way to stop a ghost is to accomplish that goal for them, exorcise them in some way using some kind of like ritual or something to that effect, right? Something in the standard chapbook of religious stuff to do to ghosts, right? Or sometimes ghosts are bound to like a particular item, like some kind of thing is charged with their essence, like it was so important to them in life, or so key to the event that traumatized them and turned them into essentially emotional spectral energy, right? If you were to somehow negate that, destroy that, who knows?
Okay.
Then the ghost would sort of, its hold on this realm would sort of dissipate.
Sure. Okay. So that seems about the right amount of cliff noteness. Okay. Cool.
So, as someone who has used up his initiative, I could suggest that
We get
grabbing
this-
Hazel into the arms and just dragging her out of here and everyone running like hell might be a good way to proceed.
That sounds pretty good.
I was going to do the opposite way. We need to get this wall down.
Yeah,
Figure
we
out
do need
what's
to get this
tying
wall
this
down.
guy down.
But
Yeah.
This guy
I think getting Hazel out of here is the best thing. Because
Ooh, we could split the party.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Should you?
My favorite word stick.
I'm sorry?
Should you? Because there are a lot of dark tokens.
Okay, so after seeing what's going on and concluding that at least one of the more common things that she's probably seen is some type of some ghost or whatever.
Given that they're swinging at nothing, and the assumption is like that's probably a ghost. I mean, I hope it's a ghost.
Yes, like
It's either a ghost or a hallucination.
I did tell you it was a ghost.
Yeah.
yeah.
oh right,
She
okay, yeah,
clearly
cool.
said it
Well,
was-
like yeah.
So it's either
I
a
was
ghost
like,
or
well,
a
like I mean, like in my head, it's like, well, maybe it might be a number of other things, but okay, fine, for sure. Fine. We'll start with ghost.
Begin with good.
We'll begin with ghost. And so, for my turn, just say like, conventional weapons won't hurt the ghost. We need to figure out what's making it tick. But yes, I suggest getting behind that wall.
Yeah.
Let's knock down that wall while you're dealing with it.
It's like you're just giving out just sort of directives, you're supervising.
Yes.
You got this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't carry the photon backpack with me.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I mean,
so we're
that's
gonna,
an unlicensed nuclear accelerator.
Yeah. So that being
You gotta be
said,
careful.
yeah, we need to figure out how to deal with it appropriately.
Okay. Is that so? You're just,
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
just giving out suggestions.
Within the mechanics of the game, is it possible for him, with one action, to take the pickaxe from me and strike the wall, or would that be 2 actions?
Oh, yeah, we brought 2 of those, right? We got a couple.
We
of
did,
those?
in fact. Didn't they get 2 pickaxes? I think
I
said
think that.
Okay, yeah,
I seem to
then-
recall. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
While speaking, yeah, I'm just gonna take that wall.
Sure. Yeah. So that's do an attack check. So that's going to be. In this case, it's not going
Is
to
it
be
strength?
close quarters combat. That's just pure strength.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
40 out of 60.
Nice.
40. Nice. What about a 4? That's what's speaking.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
that is a 4.
I
On
was-
4.
4 out of 60. That's
That's
impressive.
even better.
I was about to say 4
Yeah.
out of 60. Okay, so you wheel back with a pickaxe.
With urgency, just being like, all right.
Yeah,
well, we
once
gotta get-
more with feeling. You
Yeah.
smash into the brick, and you realize as the pickaxe strikes the brick wall that these bricks are not in great condition. In fact, it
Oh,
gives
really?
almost like powder almost. To sort of it goes through
Oh, okay.
smoothly. You can see all the whole wall begin to collapse outward towards this interior room or whatever. You see that the bricks collapse, and there's a large enough sort of hole now in this wall that you could conceivably just sort of climb through. You see inside, beyond the wall, I should say, there is a strange kind of antechamber. It is. Let's see if I can get you the details here. You can see that inside, that on the walls, there is what looks like incredibly faded graffiti, sort of crude words and small pictures and everything. It looks like they were drawn maybe by bored teenagers or something like that.
Okay.
You see that, sure enough, that there is a single sort of rough-hewn wooden chair there. There is a series of... There's a rusted trowel sitting under the chair.
A rusted what?
Trowel.
Like a little
Oh,
shovel
yes.
for
Mhm.
garnish or for breaking things up.
On the right side of the room, as you're looking over, you can see a pile of old bricks covered in what looks like a very old, rotting cloth tarp. Next to those bricks, it looks like there's... Is that a shotgun?
Cocks and eyebrow.
Very rusty. You can tell already. And on the left-hand side of the room, lined up against the wall in a kind of a seated position, are 6 skeletons.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Speaking of that chair, there's a 7th skeleton sitting right on top.
Ah, perhaps that needs to be destroyed.
We have to hurry before the Skeleton King rises his army. Well, that's enough with my turn, but I'm going to be like...
So you take witness of all this. You look through and you're like, oh, great. Connor.
Breach and clear at this point. Move into the room, sweep it with the flashlight.
Plus a frag.
Yeah.
Be a flashbang.
So you're gonna go? Are you gonna go over the wall? You're gonna through the wall into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Trying to think where to start.
The chair.
That's a good spot. Dead
Just
center,
light that
yeah.
whole chair on fire.
Just manipulate him like a puppet. Like,
Is there a particular...
Weekend at Bernie's style.
Pop off the head and talk to it. How we work.
oh yeah, it's a last part.
I didn't tell you the ghost was sitting in the chair, so...
Did you
So
say
it is.
that?
It is dead center, and then there's like 6 others off to the side. So it is. It to me, it feels like if this was up above ground, there would be a shaft of light coming down on that
Right,
chair.
yeah.
Just the way you would light this room.
Is there a standard accepted
let's
way to
go
destroy a body to get rid of a ghost? Like in Supernatural, you'd use
Salt
salt.
and burn.
Right.
Yeah.
General
Cream up the bones.
It's the protocol.
occult folklore kind of does apply. Generally speaking, you're supposed to destroy the remains and salt them, and I think burning them is also standard procedure.
Fire the Great Purifier. I'm going to head over to the skeleton in the chair and give it a quick and probably rough search to see if there's anything there aside from bones.
I see.
It is all bones. Plus 100% bones.
The temple
Whoops,
recommends
all
card.
bones.
Can you smash it?
It is.
We'll start with the
I can
skull.
tell you that it immediately, given, and I think it's fair to assume, given your police training,
Mhm.
it looks like a male skeleton. the bone structure and everything like that.
Look at the hips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are not childbearing hips. Those are hate-bearing.
Similar, but not.
Yes.
The nuances are there.
Yeah, and you can see that it's seated in this position with its arms kind of folded into kind of like as if it were sort of resting in its lap, right? And a kind of
Almost pensive.
pensive would be the exact word that I would use. Yes, and it sort of leans slightly forward, and it appears to be, judging from the position of the skull, staring directly at what was this brick wall in front of it. I'll give you that for free.
Yeah. I feel like
I'll charge you for the rest.
I feel like having no idea what to do in this situation, just gonna draw and shoot the skull.
Okay. At that point, it is a non-living, non-moving target, so no need to roll. So, are you? How many rounds are you firing? You just the one? Or?
Probably just the one to start with.
What kind of gun do you have?
Bewildered.
D&D
Oh,
joke
I actually
with the,
looked this up.
Making perception checks with the person's right in front
Model
of
39 or something. Whatever the police were using back in the 80s.
Yeah, it's probably enough to make the thing
The standard
explode.
handgun.
Yeah.
So, where are you
It was
shooting?
9mm. The dead center.
Dead center.
Yeah.
Okay. Headshot. Okay. So
Boom.
everyone hears the discharge of the gun. You see a spray of powder as the bullet goes cleanly through the skull and out the back, striking the back wall. You can see that just as quickly the head snaps off of the spinal column and tumbles to the ground, and you feel accomplished.
Hazel, anything happening?
Is there anything happening after that?
Nothing has happened to the ghost. No.
Oh, damn.
I don't think that helped.
More gun or less gun?
That's the trouble. More gun. More gun. I vote for more gun. Yeah.
More cowbell.
Yeah, this is one of those situations.
I think I'll probably call it there. Just
Okay.
lost and confused into what to actually do next.
Next, it is the ghost's turn.
Oh, yay.
Yay! Okay. So what's going to happen now is bad for you. So I'm going to these two.
Oh, we have more light back though, guys.
Hey, you can attack again.
No, I can't because of my willpower.
Well,
I believe you can, if we get enough of them, you can use those to reduce
We believe in you.
level of trauma suffered. That's from a resolve check.
So You see, Hazel, the ghost, instead of drawing a hate dot on your forehead with his stare, turns and then looks backwards towards the room. Connor, you hear this rumbling noise from the left side of the room, and you see these 6 skeletal figures cracking and snapping, beginning to come to life, standing up and getting their footing and turning to face you.
Connor's going to quickly check that pill bottle he's got to see if hallucinations are a side effect.
Brian's now just got a big old grin. Just
skeletons? Oh boy.
Jodo.
I'm assuming I can see these skeletons.
Now that there's this
Lurching
hole
into
in the
action?
wall and you're beginning to see that,
Yeah. Well, all right, now here's some bony ass I can kick.
Sure.
So in we go with pickaxe swinging, and I'm going to see if I can interpose myself between my companion and these skeletons and make a hero of myself.
Okay. So you're going to go through the wall. You're going to step over in there and try
and
to
just
put yourself between
give it the old,
Connor and the skeletons.
the Skelemans and Connor. Okay.
the old piney wood.
Just taking a swing with your pickaxe at one of the... Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, close quarter combat, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's an 84.
All right. I don't assume that's good
No,
for you. Okay.
that's not gonna impress anyone.
So it's a swing and a miss. You are temporarily sort of... You're not used to swinging at skeleton people. So it takes you a minute to find your footing, especially after you've already sort of taken that step over the wall into this new room.
Oh, yeah.
It's fairly dark in this room as well as it was in the remainder of the catacombs. So your first swing finds no purchase. Swipes through the air.
All right. Well, I'll keep moving forward into the room so that I don't block the door.
Of course, yeah. At that point, you're far enough into the room.
I want other people to be able to come in here. And
Oh no, yeah. I sure hope they will. Grendel, you're up.
Do I see the skeletons?
No,
Then I continue to watch the crazy people do crazy things.
you saw 2 people go.
Yep.
You heard a gunshot after some guy went in there, and you saw another guy go in there, and what sounded like a
Gunshot.
and there was a loud.
yeah, there was that. Leroy Jenkins is that what happened.
What do I have
Used
to
to have
roll in regards to encountering a phobia?
Loud noises, that's right.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah, that would echo.
Good. Okay, so
loud.
that's going to
Yeah.
be a willpower check.
Okay.
So whatever your current willpower is, you're trying to get equal to or below.
Don't let
that.
me down. I just bought you. I don't want to have to melt you down and throw you
I
away.
will definitely let you down now that you said that.
I will say my purchase was not completely unfounded. This D8 is on fire. Unfortunately not.
Haha, we succeeded.
Yay.
31 out of 55.
The dice live to see another day.
Okay, very
See
good.
this? This is what you're supposed to do.
Do not fail me. That'd be a crying shame.
So, that's a success.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you are not phased, thankfully. It is disorienting. It is jarring, but otherwise, it does not trigger any sort of phobic response in you.
Okay.
And I assume you're just kind of still surveying the situation.
I went from seeing people swing at midair to hearing a gunshot and somebody screaming like the crazy person I just watched swing in midair.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Hazel.
Oh, what's she doing in this situation? Oh yeah,
Cry is always an option.
Crying is a free action, as I always say.
We're getting there.
Curling up in the ball in the corner, that might take an actual action.
she's just
Still do
she's freaking out, and she's like, "All hope is lost," and she takes off the other way.
It will be hilarious
Sweetheart,
if she
that's-
bowls straight in.
That's not gonna smack.
All hope.
All right.
Okay, you see the sort of as the ghost's midsection, where the hole, the dagger point was, reforms, and you take off running.
Can I do
Jonathan's
a
from
movement
what's
check
that?
to see if I
Hopefully
trip?
they're here.
I tell you what.
I need to
above
do a
the
check to
door.
see if she just runs into.
Yeah,
the
you trip. Yeah, I can just make that happen for you. So
She is clumsy,
you take off running.
and she's in heels.
You are in heels. Very good.
I watched someone run from a T-Rex in heels. Apparently,
It's a thing.
You take off running, turn around a corner, feel your foot catch, fall, and you hit the ground, scraping some skin, and then you turn to see what your heel got caught on, and you see that there is a Grendel-looking gentleman creeping around the corner.
Hey, there's a pervert back here.
Do you look
God.
like a pervert?
Damn.
I mean, I kind of just look like a homeless person.
Ghosts, skeletons, and perverts.
Woohoo!
My
Oh my.
God.
My
Do
God.
you have that 80s mustache?
Actually, do you just look like Ron Jeremy?
He's got a Hawaiian shirt on and the thick mustache. Okay. Very good. Sherry, it's your turn now.
How many of us got 50?
On what?
Like
A lot of
3.
Three.
of us.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Half of us have a 50.
Alright, I'm going to pull a lighter out of my purse. Because she is prepared for anything.
Sure.
Go get Hazel. And then I'm going to light the lighter and walk in to the other room and just like grab the old tarp you said that was on top of like the
Tarp
old
of the
cloth.
bricks.
Yeah.
So there's a cloth tarp on top of a
Right.
big pile of bricks.
I basically just set it on fire and then like try to set the skeleton on fire and the whole chair, like the whole part of that chair.
The skeleton sitting in
Skeleton
the
trowel
central chair.
ensemble.
Okay.
Just gonna use my lighter, light the cloth on fire, and set the chair and skeleton on fire.
The now extra dead skeleton.
Just give me a dexterity check. Just to see if you can do this quickly and efficiently.
All right, let's see what happens.
And not set anything else on fire.
Yeah,
You set yourself on fire.
58 of 65.
Okay, so you do so. All right, so you get in with your lighter. The cloth tarp is already sort of old and rotting. It
that's
catches
my
fire
favorite.
pretty quickly. So you remove it from the pile of bricks. You hear that rusty shotgun clatter to the floor. You throw it on the chair
Yeah.
with the skeleton, and now there is sort of a fire thing going on there.
Okay.
Flaming skeleton, chair, and tarp.
A flaming skeleton.
And I hope you're happy.
We've only made them stronger.
Can I do more?
No, that was it.
Okay. You're just staring at me. I'm like, I'll keep going.
It was a valiant effort.
Think you've
So now the
sucked
two
it
of you
down,
out of the
but
corner of
now
your
it's
eyes now
just
see
vision.
the sherry came in. Now this flaming tarp is on this skeleton on the
That was
chair.
a fine idea.
This headless skeleton on the chair, might I add. Brian, it's actually your turn now.
Hazel, are you okay?
No.
Ah, you're fine. just step inside.
You are bad cop.
I just told you to go after her.
am I
God
supposed to
damn
do?
it, Brian.
What am I supposed to do?
He's a loose cannon
Ghost.
cop. who doesn't
Do
play
what
by
the
the
realtor
rules.
says. Every.
Give me more.
Fight
Give me your
ghosts?
badge and your gun. I sold my badge and my
That's
gun
all.
for meth.
Damn.
And so, like, Brian just, like, steps through just whistling and, like, looks at, like, the skeleton to just saunts on over to the shotgun and inspects it.
Okay. It
What do I
is
see?
it is a rusty 12-gauge shotgun. It's clearly not of modern make. It looks like it was probably manufactured in probably the turn of the century. Like manufactured in the 30s, I should say. Late 30s.
It's about 50 years old.
It's considerably old at this point, yeah.
Cool.
And it is rusty to all hell. It doesn't look like it would fire.
Perhaps it will smash into tiny splinters.
Is there can I spend a destiny point to make it serviceable? my plea with the DM.
Maybe go for just one
Yes,
shot.
yeah, the Chill Master Flex.
In this case, no.
Okay. If not, I've got a hand.
Normally, I would allow it, but there's
rule of cool.
there's not a round in the chamber. And there doesn't appear to be any ammo in the
If I
in the room.
spend 2 points, do I find ammunition on the floor?
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
Take these.
I mean, it's
please.
cool. Yeah.
This is my rule of cool moment. That's all I want. So
2 for the gun working. 2 for the ammo
Holy shit!
in a room that's been closed for probably several days.
I didn't know it was gonna be 4.
That's too late. Made the bargain.
I tell you, I said 2.
You made it happen.
Well,
This is why you
This
never
better
summon
be
a
good.
demon.
This better be better than it just smashing.
The 12 gauge shotgun is not as rusty as you thought.
I mean, it's getting there.
It is serviceable, and there is a.
I'm so sorry.
I'm having flashbacks
Don't
to
worry.
Blades in the Dark, Devil's Bargain.
Don't worry.
It's a double barrel shotgun, so there are 2 shells in there.
Oh,
so
of
you
course.
Can fire.
So there's like just
It's basically one shot. Yeah, you can. But one effective shot.
and just like
Well, it's one of those double barreled. You pop
Breech
it open.
loading?
Yeah,
breech
yeah,
loading
so-
style.
so like just snap it down, snap it back, and like just like slowly turn towards the group of skellies, and like give a smirk. Are they bunched up?
They're in a general kind of clump. Yeah.
And with a big old smile on my face and a twinkle in my eye, I pull the trigger.
And it's a slug.
Okay, so I'm not that cruel.
Oh man, that's
So you're gonna roll to what's the skill?
Ranged
for that?
weapon.
Ranged weapons, please.
I do have shotguns 1.
Oh, great.
Like, again, if I didn't have it, I promised I wouldn't have done all this. But
Yes.
Make it count. If this fails,
I know I'm in the doghouse
if
of
this
critical mass.
botches,
41 out of 80.
41 out of 80.
That's a.
Yeah, okay, that's a regular
I
success.
know.
Yeah.
It's
So close.
It's so close.
All right. So Joe Dunn, will you make a dexterity check?
Oh, thank goodness! This means that thing's gonna blow up, doesn't it? That's good. Okay. Yes, a dexterity check. That's only 50. Okay. I didn't make it.
Okay. So you turn. There's this resounding thunder of a 12 gauge shotgun being activated. You see 2 of the skeletons explode into powder, bones going everywhere. Jodan, you feel a hot, stinging feeling in your lower right calf.
Ow!
It looks like some of the shot probably ricocheted and got into your leg. You are going to take injury
Stone. I feel
minor.
Okay.
And I failed my phobia check.
So that means that it's minus 10 to your current stat.
This is good. It's
Okay.
all
Still
good.
didn't do it?
It's all good
Nice shot.
storytelling, everyone. It's all great storytelling. We're gonna remember this.
And you will take your what's the first trauma ranking there? Is that minor as well?
Minor.
Yeah.
Or distressed.
Distressed.
Fine.
Distressed. So please check that off and take that penalty to your current willpower.
-5.
Right.
I had to give in to my drawback.
Demand for guns.
No.
So 2 of them,
Infamous trigger happy.
2 of the skeletons have been turned into bone meal. 4 of them remain, and Jodan is cursing up a storm, having been stung in the right calf.
Oh, smash the fucking gun! What the hell's wrong with you?
Like Brian just looks like pleased with himself a little bit. Just,
All right. Yeah,
And
but
just toss it over.
I've seen Evil Dead.
I've seen you with him.
Well,
Hold on.
Wait,
Google.
no.
Connor, it's
well,
your turn next. By the
Is
way.
it the first Evil Dead? Didn't
1983.
Okay, we're 3 years. Okay, we got plenty of time.
It existed.
Great. Super.
Army of Darkness, not so much.
Well, yeah.
That was-
yeah,
Yeah.
And it's what? 1986?
6.
Yeah. You can also
Next year is Evil Dead 2.
Brian
Alright.
can also feel 2 burning eyes on the back of his head as Sherry is contemplating
That's not a
dragging you
ghost
out of
thing.
here by your fucking ear.
It was pretty cool though. Yeah. Look at that.
We're going to draw and take a shot at another one of those skeletons.
Okay, ranged weapons, please.
Flat 90 that just hits.
It is.
Yeah. Ranged weapons is 60, and I'm an expert in pistols, so that's 90. Perfect.
I have to admit that was kind of cool, right?
If we survive. So, one of the skeletons takes a shot. You can see a rib break off. It staggers for a moment, and another one sort of takes its place, sort of assumes its position. Anything else?
Unless I can keep shooting, I think that's good.
Just the one shot,
Yep.
unfortunately.
I think we're good.
Okay. It is the ghost's turn.
You're training to replace him, right, Connor?
What was I supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's a ghost.
Go get Hazel.
I mean, she's fine. She's
No,
what do you want me to do? Hand-to-hand combat the ghost?
go.
Just
Connor, I need you to roll
Taking my
against your current stamina.
Stamina, you say?
Everybody's pointing handguns at each other.
That's a failure.
I'll roll
76 out of 40, so almost. Well, no, botches are only doubles.
Yeah.
Okay, so you feel a burning sensation throughout your body, much like hyper indigestion, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't. And you suddenly feel your muscles tense up. You are now essentially frozen in your last position, and you find that you can't, no matter how much you will your muscles to move, it seems like your body's just, it feels on fire, and it can't make any motion, no matter how hard you try.
Cool.
Jodo.
I turned to dipshit here,
Yay!
and I grabbed the fucking shotgun out of
You
his
grab
hand
it out
and
of his
smashed it into tiny little pieces all over the floor.
Okay, give me a... Are you going to allow that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's out of ammo anyway. Sure.
Give me a strength check.
Oh god!
So there's also a burning chair, like in this room.
Let's toss it over.
Ooh.
Out of 70.
Out of 70, that's a
Damn.
colossal
You
success.
destroyed
Well, not a
this
colossal,
shit.
it's a huge success. High success.
I like
Very
you
good.
so much
Very
more
good.
now.
I like me more now too.
So you smash this thing onto the ground. You see the stock basically explode into splinters.
Okay.
The two barrels of the gun sort of twist up. Just the vaguest hints of Elmer Fudd. Sort of curls up and breaks. And
we could have used that.
Hazel, you're still interacting with the perfect gun.
Love
So you
that you're
smash
the
this
first.
thing, and it looks pretty damn broken to you.
Okay.
Grimbled.
At this point, I am curled up on the ground with my
happens to
fingers
him?
just jammed in my ears.
Just locked up.
Okay.
Hey, see, I saved it from the pervert.
So you're just freaking
That
out.
would have been
I
my
know.
response to the loud noise. Like
Got it.
fingers in the ears, curled up on the
Got it.
ground. Like,
Hazel, you are on the ground looking at this homeless man, presumably.
nobody notices a homeless
It's
person.
homeless adjacent person.
Herbert's down. I'm getting out of here.
Hazel, you
Get
need
up.
to, Hazel, no, you need to come back.
See, look, I was like, yeah, look at that.
I get up and start running.
Okay, you're going to run straight through into the darkness.
It sounds like a wonderful.
It's a terrible idea. You need to come back.
Well, I'll see any ghost at least.
That's true. So you're going to take off?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sherry.
Oh boy.
Has anything happened to Connor? Is he still frozen?
Are you actively looking at Connor? No one would have known that he was frozen.
I
at this
suppose
point.
that's true. Fuck me.
Yeah, you can look over at him.
I will. I'll look over at Connor.
So you see that Connor is. He looks like he's just coming off of an incredibly tense situation. You can see the tendons, his arm muscles, and everything start to relax very slowly. The gun starts to lower. It looks like he has suddenly taken a great weight off of himself. You
I am
feel accordingly.
Chilling
better.
out.
Yes.
Sherry takes off
Roll
her.
credits.
Sherry takes off her stilettos. Are
Leave
you
it
okay?
on that time, walking on air.
Connor, will you take the rest of these skeletons out?
Yeah.
Take off my shoes.
I was like, wait,
Throw
no,
them down.
no.
Glare at Brian, and then sprint out after Hazel.
She's fine.
Brian, it's your turn.
Well,
I took my shoes off.
I look around and see two
run faster.
skellies, and
You find that they're not moving.
That's what I thought.
what are they? They're just standing there.
They appear to be just standing there.
There's the shotgun.
There's no active motion going on. They're just sort of stood, like almost like mannequins.
Just slightly creepier when you think about it.
Which is
You're
worse,
welcome.
I think.
your ritual. Okay.
Learn
so
that from the Pope.
So I'm gonna. This is like
Damn
now.
straight.
Now I'm crowdsourcing intent. I have a drawback for Infamous, and it's trigger happy. So I'm trying to figure out if it's
What you gonna shoot?
if I should be shooting
Or who?
if there's anything like is there like
Well, you know there's a
There's no, like,
pervert down the hall.
there's no like compulsion though, right? For like
I mean-
what he did with like he did with his phobia.
You can make a willpower roll to see if you resist,
Shooting
giving into
skeletons.
it. Yeah.
Giving in to the dogs.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
So your current willpower, you're just trying to roll equal or under and see if you can resist just firing away. Now you fire.
And
Black.
the revolver from my side, quick flourish, pop one that Connor was shooting at before.
Okay, the one with the broken rib. Yeah. So you fire. You see its pelvis shatter open. It sort of collapses into a pile of bones.
Oh, okay. Didn't know. That's sweet. Good. Do you want me to roll for that?
Nope.
Okay, that's fair. I got you, Connor. It's cool.
This one's not having any children.
I shit in the waist.
Connor, you are feeling much better. You are slowly feeling a sense of coolness is now. We're getting back about it. Your body temperature is feeling normal again. You feel as if you had been flexing for hours. There's this soreness in your muscles. suddenly.
Lactic acid is just everywhere.
Yes, but you do have motion in your limbs and your body again.
Planking for too long.
Yes. As the kids did in 1986. The popular fad of planking in 1986.
It just wasn't. It just didn't nearly catch on
it
as
couldn't go
skateboarding
viral.
did.
That's the catch. It was
Yeah.
a very Ohio Toledo thing.
There was a planking newsletter in the Toledo area. Yeah. Here I am in a statue.
Fanzines.
Cool.
If you
There are a
put
couple
enough
of other
moose in your hair,
skeletons
your hair will
standing up.
plank too.
So,
Like frozen upright.
there are three just standing there, frozen upright.
I'm gonna keep the weapon trained on them and approach,
Okay.
and then do the I don't know, investigative cliche of try to push one over with the
barrel of your gun. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You put your straight on the
Yeah,
skull. Yeah.
Temple.
So you push, and you see the skeleton fall backwards and collapse against the wall.
Nice. Good job, Connor. Good job.
Alright. Just knock the other two into each other.
Okay. They fall in a comical bowling pin style fashion.
Take a bit of a breath
Clatter.
and look around everybody. Everybody okay?
I think it's just me. Oh, and Jodan. Yeah.
Jodan cussing.
Where's Hazel?
Actually, somewhere.
God damn it!
I
go stomping on
You just saw me
just-
truck after
Yeah,
her.
Yeah.
I go stomping
Bolting
up down.
down.
Black pump still on the floor.
Yeah. Bolting after Hazel and Sherry.
Do I find this guy when I go off after
Oh, if you're
them?
going at the people who are going after Hazel, yeah, you absolutely see a homeless-looking gentleman with his fingers in his ears around the corner.
Hey, buddy. You alright?
I just kind of
Play cool.
Are the loud noises done?
You stay right here. I'll be right back. All right, I'm gonna go make sure that they're okay.
Okay. So the two of you,
Alright.
you've got your lighter still, right?
I do. I have
Yeah.
it still. I have my still in my purse. I just took my shoes off.
Okay. So following Sherry's lead,
Yeah.
the two of you are able to make your way through this one column of this one tunnel of the catacombs and find Hazel sort of wandering around in the darkness, feeling around on the wall next to her. She
Oh, good.
doesn't
She
appear to
can
have made very
Good.
much headway.
Oh, good. All right, we're gonna try to take her back. And Hazel,
You feel a hand on your shoulder.
Hey,
I think.
I swing the dagger around.
All right. You just managed to.
Right.
I'll
I think we got it.
I'll grab her arm with the dagger in it to keep her from swiping it again.
Sure.
Come on back. You don't want to be all by yourself in here. Come on.
It attack.
We need you to tell us all about it, but get your breath back first. And unless
taking the
you
dagger
don't want us to, we're going to take you back to where we were. And
We're going to
Okay.
bring you back to the murder room. Remember that?
Remember the murder? Some out of what was that Kevin Bacon movie?
so when we get
Stir
back, I
echoes.
gather this guy up too. And bring
I point out that that's the pervert.
and like,
Are you in fact a pervert?
No,
Please state for the record.
just say for the record, are you now or have you ever been a pervert?
I was here to steal a thing.
Like king shaming.
Oh.
King shaming.
What
No,
the
it's not-
fuck
Like
are all of
king-
you
king-
doing? You're swinging in midair. There are loud noises.
Well, you
There's
know what?
fire.
Let's
Nothing. It was
Let's-
just a game.
let's
Everything's all right.
yeah.
It's more of that Dungeons and Dragons nonsense.
Have you heard of LARP?
Topical.
So now that I'm back, am I still? Is this still the same scene?
Yes.
Do I see anything?
Ghostwise?
You sure don't.
Oh, it's gone.
I thought so.
What is gone?
The ghost.
It's just part of the game.
Just stepping out, like reloading my revolver. Like, see, we done with
You
this.
see, to defeat a ghost, you need at least a 6-level cleric with access to turn undead.
Or Asha's hitting slam.
Sherry here, turn.
I go and I put my shoes back on, and boy, if looks could kill.
To remind you, inside the murder room, there is still a flaming chair.
We put that out.
Sick.
How do you put that up?
Make him stomp on it.
That there's a chair on.
It's a whole chair and a tarp and most of a
I don't
skeleton.
give a shit.
Are you all just going to stomp on it?
What's it? The stone is going to catch on fire.
It'll burn itself out.
Yeah. we'll
Okay,
be
if you want to just leave it there, that's
uses
fine.
up all the oxygen. Speaking of which, we better get out of here.
Ghost solved, right?
fine. Yeah, like good job, Connor. We did it.
Okay.
And Carrie, was it? Is your character's name?
Sherry.
Sherry. So I didn't even like. I didn't write.
No,
it.
that's
him
within
down.
character. You
Yeah.
just forget everyone's
Yes.
name.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yes.
mispronounce
It is.
names.
It
and
is now.
I'm going to like slip some arsenic into your
Wait,
later.
You see a warehouse? Is that like a werewolf? It is now.
Okay. So the lot of you regroup, or for you, group, and find yourselves in this antechambered room with the pile of skeletons, the pile of bricks of which the tarp once stood, and this slowly dying fire, and the shattered remnants of a 50-year-old shotgun clattered all over the ground.
Is there anything else? in here?
Search it very carefully and check out this graffiti too.
I
Yeah.
lament the shotgun.
You take a look at the graffiti. Judging from the style of it, there are a couple of phrases sort of done very haphazardly on the wall. Wild thing, hail Satan. Very sort of.
50s.
It really does look like stuff that teenagers.
It really does look
But
like
not,
stuff that.
not 80s teenagers. necessarily.
That's a fair assessment. It looks it's kind of dated in its edginess.
verbiage. Yeah.
It's clearly not an 80s teenager's idea.
Can I make an investigation
Okay.
on the room?
Yes.
With police detective with the crime scene.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hazel, what did this ghost look like exactly?
Well, it was a man. Wore flannel.
Anything else?
So he's in a
Lumberjack
grunge
joke.
band.
Hair color, eye color. And...
49 out of 100.
Doesn't really work like that.
Okay.
What'd you get?
49 out of 100.
Okay. So, taking a look.
Just like, take a look at that shotgun and note the age.
Well, what's left of it?
Well, yeah. I used it. I figured out. Got acquainted with it. It's the closest thing to love I knew.
Judging from the inside of this chamber, it looks like it was. It looks like it was intended to act as a kind of. I'm not sure exactly what the right word here is.
Like a ritual pact.
No, I mean it looks very mundane. There's nothing about the architecture or the materials inside this room that suggest anything occult or supernatural or deadly in any way. Just it appears to be a room that what you'd assume, given the information that the party gathered about the construction of the place, it's probably just meant to hold temporarily some supplies and everything, like the brickwork and everything like that, and would probably have either been extended into another catacomb tunnel or simply walled up properly when construction was over.
Can I ask an unrelated question?
You just did.
Yes. And I'm going to ask another one.
Okay.
Because I'm just that kind of person.
That's fair.
So, when you activate the power, you have to roll under your current willpower, because I was under the impression that you had to roll under the associated stat with the power.
Is it willpower just to activate it?
I know the activation has to do with willpower.
I thought the willpower was just the price, though. Because
Using the discipline score, yes, you are right about that.
that would have changed things.
That's fair. I did not. Again, this was the chapter I did not read. I made that very clear when you were creating characters. Yeah. So yeah, you are correct. It's the discipline's score that's related to the discipline, right? That you'd be rolling under. So for the willpower, restore your willpower to what was your maximum before?
45. Just give me 10 back, because I would have definitely rolled it under.
I was about to put it at 35. Yeah, so let's just put it back at 35.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what are the odds that this fella in the chair brought all these people in here and then bricked himself and them up in here? He got that trowel under his chair. That's pretty grim.
Could I make a forensics check to try to put things together? See if that makes sense.
That's fair. Yeah, make a forensics check.
I'd like to do a local history
'cause
check
it
to know if I know
looks,
of any
okay.
groups of people disappearing.
Because it
Do
looks
that.
like these kids
Ought
that we're
six.
talking about.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Even use the ought. Fuel thing.
Adds 50.
No, it just means I say it in an old-fashioned voice.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
The city where his kids are.
So we have got the skeleton of a man sitting in a chair, looking at a brick wall of obviously different make than the rest of the walls of the catacombs. We have 6 figures, judging from their bone structure and everything. Clearly, there are a handful of men and women. Clearly of a younger age. just cusping adulthood, probably. Like
Late teen.
these are either late teens or like early adults, judging from the height and the bone structure and everything. You have a rusty trowel with what you see still has a little bit of a hardened mortar on it, and an area of like bricks in a sort of a pile that matches the exact sort of color and condition of the bricks that were used to seal this room. So putting two and two together, that theory makes a hell of a lot of sense. Either somebody bricked everyone in here inside,
Or they brick
or somebody
themselves
bricked
in.
themselves.
I got a 28 of 75 for local history about 7 missing
You-
people
Do you think
around the time that this place got bricked up.
I think it was like some
Okay.
So that's like what, a hard
ritualistic
success?
thing?
I got
Doesn't
under
really
half.
look like it, but I don't know.
What
Well-
if these were the teenagers who did the graffiti and he was punishing them?
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, it literally said repent and be humbled.
He did not look like a priest.
That day and age, everybody was priest.
You remember,
Be the one with the shotgun.
because of your
I mean, I grew
He
up around
killed
here.
them?
It could have been somebody from my parents, you know?
your curiosity and your I would say macabre curiosity,
Literally
and
just started.
the chattering
I don't know.
of the adults as you were
Well,
growing
a
up.
shotgun.
Yeah.
Well,
There was a weird situation
It was tied to it.
back in the 50s.
can you analyze the other
Okay.
skeletons to see if they have shotgun wounds?
6 local kids
Or, well, no, if that's a thing.
disappeared. They were, from what you understood,
Reconstructing the scene.
rabble rousers. They weren't straight-laced kids, right? The rumor was that they were experimenting with reefer and drinking well
Reefer madness.
earlier than the legal age, and they just simply went missing. Obviously, their parents made a big stink with the police department trying to figure out, if they had simply, gone over state lines or just run off. But from what you remember, there was never any resolution to that case. None of the parents ever talked about, they came back, or they found them, stayed over. So it's like they vanished off the face of the earth.
It would have been like an urban legend I heard growing up.
Yep.
When I was a little girl.
Hmm.
Do I know
A
anything?
suburban legend.
Do I know anything about the man?
No.
Based on Hazel's description or anything?
No.
So I will relay this story I heard when I was a girl, because I grew up around these parts. Sounds like these are those 6 kids that went missing. I always thought it was kind of a story, but
Feeling guilt and scrutiny.
Bad Latin.
I didn't feel scrutiny when I saw what Simon did. He did, but he'd just broken in here. What if this ghost was taking some sort of revenge on whoever wasn't supposed to be in here?
Could be.
Repent
was-
and be humbled. And yeah, he didn't say the... I just felt guilt when I saw it through Simon's eyes.
If
And he mispronounced it.
what
So
if
he
there's
might not have been
two
a
parts to it? Well, so the message would make sense for a message to the kids.
Yeah.
That feeling would make sense as a feeling from the guy who potentially perpetrated this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he killed kids and was feeling bad about it.
Maybe he felt
And
guilty
just-
afterwards. Yeah.
Left himself in there.
And what that has,
Sealed himself up?
well,
He was feeling an awful lot of hate.
At least when he perpetrated the act. afterwards. 6 people?
It might have been that
Especially
guilt.
if you killed them accidentally?
Might have been that guilt that kept him here.
Well, that means we still have to. If that's the case, then we have to figure out what ties him here, or what his mission is.
Well, I think we severed that tie when John Dunn smashed the gun. Joe Dunn smashed the gun.
If he was tied to the gun as that strong connection point, then maybe that's what he used to either do the killing or his unfinished business. I don't know.
I mean, we could bury the kids.
I mean, we are in a cemetery. It's the least we can do.
What, the parts of him?
Yeah, we just
You know
dig a hole.
the other option here is that he sealed these kids in here with himself, and after the kids died, he used the shotgun to take himself out.
Yes, that's the.
Quite possible.
Yeah.
There'd have been signs on that
And-
skull. if
That's
he
true. We would have
shot
seen on the
himself
skull,
in the
though.
head.
Is there another way? I know these catacombs are all like linked together. Is there another way out of this antechamber into somewhere else?
No, the only way in and out is the hole that you created in the brick wall.
Okay. So there's nowhere else to explore, so to speak.
No, this is a contained room.
None of the kids' ghosts are here. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's good. I think one ghost is
Yeah.
enough for one night.
So, have we discharged our mission?
I think with
Or
what's
have I
written,
forgotten something?
Seems like it.
Okay.
Your mission, according to Save HQ in Detroit, was to interview Simon Bonf, see if his claims held any merit, check out the tape, and then if there was an actual creature of the unknown, to deal with it in some fashion.
Well, if it's quelled, we did our thing, did our civic duty for whatever, for save,
For save.
and looks like we can all go home.
What time is it?
Hard to tell here at the catacombs. It's very dark.
Surely one of us is wearing a watch.
I'm sure I am.
Okay. Yeah. It's let's see. When did you come
one of the
in?
police officers would, for sure.
It's like,
Like
7,
It was dark,
Yeah.
so I think we said like what 9,
9.
It's 10:30.
10:30. Okay. Do we need to check out the rest of the catacombs from the other entrance?
We can poke around. Aside from making a whole lot of noise, what's the harm, right?
Yeah, just a quick sweep, I suppose.
Okay, everybody give me investigation checks. Just gonna-
You
You don't have to.
Pocket the remains of the shotgun.
Okay. A couple of metal bits and wooden splinters and things like
Yeah,
that.
no,
Well,
I
the-
failed that hard.
The
I
barrel that's
actually
not. Yeah,
passed.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more what I'm aiming for.
So who succeeded?
I did.
I did.
1, 2.
No.
Okay.
I have a 25 and I succeeded.
31 70.
19 out of 25.
Nice.
So going through the remainder of the catacombs, which takes the rest of the night, it's a considerable
A
network.
task, yeah.
You find the occasional.
Ghosts we deal with it.
You find the occasional old, shattered glass bottle periodically.
Like liquor
Damn,
bottles?
damn
Yeah.
kid.
Like brown liquor bottle style. Otherwise, you do not find anything out of the ordinary.
Anything
It
that
seems too
might
easy.
suggest a connection to the office building?
No.
Okay, well,
There are plenty of, as you're walking through the catacombs, this place has been stone up, this place is a dead end, you know.
hey, well,
Okay, well, I
Well,
guess.
we should get out of here before the security guard comes back and start guarding the hole again. Then we'll be stuck in here for the rest of the next day.
That'd be unfortunate.
That
Yeah.
sounds
Well,
good,
We
yeah.
went on the other side of the catacombs, right? So we should be closest
Yes,
to
that was
the
the-
ladder.
So yeah, carefully leave the hole, checking to make sure no one's watching it.
Okay, as you emerge from the doorway, you see that it's pitch dark. It's the middle of the night. There doesn't appear to be any of the cemetery guards in the immediate vicinity.
This is too easy.
We should go back to our hiding place from before.
Okay.
I mean, I assume if we have,
Climb out of here.
if there's any further complications, we'll get sent back. I'm almost sure of that.
Okay, well, let's one by one go over the ladder, a couple minutes apart, I guess.
Okay, so you do so in a kind of a clandestine fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Last one over pulls the ladder up with them. Try to leave no sign of our having been there, if we can avoid it.
Okay.
Go back to the hotel and sleep.
As soon as
Catch
I
up
get
on
my
Take a
car,
bath.
stick a cassette in my 8-track, crank up the radio, Veteran of the Psychic Wars.
Excellent.
See me
Very
now,
good.
the veteran
Very
of
good.
1,000 psychic. Blue Oyster Cult fan.
Yeah.
I will again probably toss my car keys to Connor and go here.
Grab the keys, shoot a glance over to Brian, shrug.
He's
and
a
then,
piece of shit. Just come on, let's go.
all right. Drive back to the hotel.
I'm sure the
motel.
envoys put us all up at the same hotel.
Yeah, they're all at the same. I mean, they gave you like you got a couple
Block of
rooms
rooms.
in a block. Yeah, in the same hotel. Okay. Well, I am sorry, Zach. Congratulations. You completed
I'm okay with that.
the mission.
Oh wow! Yeah.
No, you seriously did.
Wow. No, I kept
damn.
waiting for something to pop out at us and like.
And then,
Fuck our shit up.
and then Super
Where are the
Ghost,
other skeletons?
Swole Ghost comes out.
So
Right?
you completed the mission because you got angry with you being a dumbass.
And broke the shotgun.
Yeah.
And the shotgun was
Let it be
the-
known.
Well, I think Joe Don and
connection
I were
point,
on the
yeah, the
same
focus
wavelength
item.
with destroy everything related to that guy.
Yeah.
Skeleton didn't
We
work.
encouraged
so.
him to pick up the shotgun to destroy it, and instead he decided to fire it and make it less. Make deliberately use points to make it less fucked up than it had been, so that it would be harder to destroy and useful for a single
You're
shot
right.
at the
But
skeletons.
there is one takeaway from the whole experience. It was cool.
We're not playing VHS.
making contact with
Yes.
Save HQ in Detroit to sort of give a debriefing and wrap everything up. The researchers in Detroit let you know that given the information that you gave them, and their own historical records, they were able to trace the events to the life of a Donald Dabrowski.
Dabrowski?
Dabrowski, according to them, was born in Poland sometime before 1918.
Dabrowski.
His family immigrated to the United States. He was apparently one of the workers who was responsible for initially constructing the not the cemetery, but the planned expansion in 1930, before the Depression halted the project. He was reported missing August of 1955 and declared legally dead in 1957. They also managed to discover this Detroit in their review of microfiche and everything like that. They found a newspaper clipping from 1950 showing this Donald Dabrowski, who held a remarkable resemblance, at least in body shape and form, to your ghost. Showing Dabrowski winning a trap and skeet competition, holding a 12-gauge shotgun.
That was a thing that he was very attached to.
He's a sick son of a bitch.
Seems to be. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all that they can unearth, based on public records and what they have available to them.
Well, we'll send him the Betamax we've got.
And the remains of the shotgun to put in a special.
Oh no, he didn't
no.
give that back.
Oh no! Wait, oh, that's right. He took that shit.
That got lit.
Oh yeah, no, that's been fenced.
How much can you
Real,
give for
genuine,
scrap
haunted, broken shotgun.
Well, I was there because I was told that someone had told my fence that there was something there they wanted that was old and had some sort of something, and I just went and got the thing and took it back to my fence, and he just keeps paying for my loft and giving me food and drink and entertainment. So.
Alright.
Is there more? Is there like another
Two
case
or
or
more.
something?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
the
okay.
whole thing.
It's like only 10
Entertain us more.
Yeah.
I know. You guys went for the shotgun and broke it successfully with a 4.
Oh, let's see. We completed it earlier. We were too efficient. We were.
Well, yes.
against
Well, the shotgun was the focus item, right? And the thing about banishing this particular ghost, which Judging from the descriptions of the group, the Detroit HQ labeled as an apostate, which is a very a strong spirit that is the ghost of a very devout person that cannot be put down with a seance or ritual. According to the lore, they wallow in their own guilt, unwilling to let go of their sins, and their link to the living world, generally a focus item, must be severed.
We just knew too much about ghosts, apparently.
And did reasonably well against the 6 skeletons,
Yeah, we did.
who in another version of what happened would be chasing you out of the catacombs, forcing you to retreat, and then making more investigatory sort of inroads and trying to figure out how to deal with this thing, whatever it was.
Would they have kept coming back, like assembling and?
The skeletons?
Yeah.
If the,
As long as the ghost was still active.
Oh man, that would.
The ghost had a power of animate dead.
That would have been
That
so
would've sucked.
cool.
It turns into the Aliens movie at that point.
Well, it reminds me of that fucking jester. Alana and Nadia and Alexei. That jester that we would take down and then it would just pop back up.
Continually revives himself.
Hot Frog.
Hot Frog.
I have not forgotten Hot Frog.
Oh, that's from the Poe story.
Never
Yeah, that was the
forgotten
inspiration for this creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared of clowns, so my darling husband made up a evil jester to be
Undead clown short person.
to be my character's nemesis in our first campaign.
Kills everybody.
Oh, that is disgustingly adorable.
That's love.
That's really it.
Well, that's something.
Whatever it is.
Why do
that's-
people generally not like this system? From you guys were saying before we started, it's not really a popular system.
Oh, it's
Well, the
just
difference between it not
Cthulhu.
being popular and not being liked is a different thing. Generally speaking, Cthulhu got there first.
yeah.
And they did it with a very recognizable aesthetic, right? The Lovecraftian thing is very strong. It enables very specific kind of horror experiences. And it just became popular way before, it started building steam and everything like that. And then Chill was kind of a Johnny-come-lately. And it didn't have a particular, from what I remember, it had a more generic flavor because it was dealing with all manner of, it could be ghosts or vampires or werewolves or whatever.
Yeah.
And it didn't have that kind of essence that Call of Cthulhu did. Like, where Call of Cthulhu, you're fighting like literal creatures from beyond time and space, whereas in Chill, you stake a vampire in that. Yeah. It's sort of it's almost more mundane in that way.
So in Chill, you're basically playing the TV show Supernatural.
In a way, yeah.
First season of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you would do that. You do investigations and everything like that, and there'd be checks to resist horror and everything like that. It'd be overwhelmed and stuff like that. But again, the flavor of Call of Cthulhu was enough to really entrance people.
It
And that's
sucked
why.
all the air out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really did. It really took over the horror RPG space pretty concretely.
Kind of created it and then completely took it over.
Honestly, yeah, it sort of jump started that genre and then took it over for the last
Ever 30 years.
that's fair, yeah, 20, 30 years.
At least cosmic horror, I suppose.
Sure, yeah. Now later during the 90s and everything like that, they started to come out with more niche systems rather than something general like this, which is sort of like all sort of horror movie tropes. They started to sort of label in on like very specific things, like okay, we're just going to do zombies now, or okay, we're going to do shapeshifters, or whatever. Like we're going to focus on a very specific thing, like Call of Cthulhu did, very specific mythos or whatever, and found more success than say Chill.
I feel like if I hadn't been such a huge Lovecraft fan, I probably would have preferred this game.
Sure, yeah.
Because it's just like it lets you mess with the things of folklore, right?
Yeah.
All the things.
Which I like.
And of course, back in the 80s, the original Chill, I remember, had like the old style like resolution table and everything like that. So like, Call of Cthulhu's mechanics have stayed relatively the same for a long time. The percentile roll and everything like that. Whereas Chill was kind of a product of its time more so in terms of mechanics, right? And so it didn't age as gracefully or develop as keenly as Call of Cthulhu did. So,
and also like you were saying, Cthulhu has maintained, or at least I don't know if that. It seems like recently that it's that everybody knows.
It's still going strong. Yeah, it's like one of the top.
I don't know.
brands.
I don't know if it was popular before, like 10 or 15 years ago, when it seemed to gain a ton of speed across multiple.
In horror RPGs specifically, yeah. I mean,
well, even as like an entertainment, right?
Yeah, well, it would have been very niche in, like, I think even in the 80s. Mm-hmm. If you were into tabletop RPGs and you weren't playing Dungeons and Dragons, you'd maybe heard of Call of Cthulhu, right? Like, saying, oh, it's a new thing. Oh, it's, you know. So now it's become, now that tabletop RPGs, like, expanded in popularity and everything like that, and more people were involved in the space, both playing and developing, then you see the potential for more systems, more niches being filled and everything like that. And because it is the venerable horror RPG system that it is, now it is at a level where, like, it's mentioned in the same breath as, like, Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder is a good example now, of just a thing that's at staying power.
It's basically, I think, like, it's in the top 3.
It's like, if you had to name a tabletop RPG,
D&D,
it's
Pathfinder, Shadowrun,
yeah.
You know, this is the first thing I ever started and finished.
Really? This adventure?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Unfortunately,
Still waiting on that.
it is. There's a lot of hanging threads, and we're going to finish Call of Cthulhu. Absolutely,
We're so close.
When we get the right people in the right time, and we're able to finish that.
Yeah, we gotta figure out when Lance can play.
But I am fully taking that criticism into account because I know I have somewhat of a reputation for flitting between systems because I want to. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, let's try this now, and then never really resolving it. This is a reminder.
You don't seem to have run many people off with it, so I think
No.
I thought it was the
that.
future of this group.
For a while, I mean,
It's flavor of the week, right? It's like, well, we're
just trying new things because I was on this hot streak for a while of just like, let's just try new stuff. Let's just oh, this is new. This is cool. Let's just give it a shot. That's why I'm reminding you. Tomorrow night at Sage's shop, we're having session 0 for that Star Wars campaign.
I talked to Lance today, and he said he was going to try to make that, so I will probably maybe be there.
Okay. So that I am planning to run for a long-term engagement. Monday nights, we're in the old Spelljammer slot, right? And that is, again, we're having a session 0 there, so I'm not exactly sure if there will be, depending on how long.
What do we want our time thing to be? My only concern is that, and that's like, this is a me problem, obviously not a you problem. I was thinking about that. I was like, if I do Star Wars on Monday, that makes RPGs for me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
That doesn't seem like a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem though.
It would be in the same Spelljammer slot from like 7 to 9:30 or something like that. You know, that kind of. Yeah, it would be about the same time as Spelljammer, and it would just sort of fill that slot now. That
And are we scumming? Are we Age of Rebellion?
See, that's the thing. That's what tomorrow night's session is going to be.
Cool.
We're all going to sit down and say, okay, like, what systems do we like? What themes do we like? What era do we want to play in? And everything like that. Instead of decide that as a group, so that I know where to nail down. Now, I originally was leading with that 5th edition conversion of Star Wars. That has some pros and cons that I'll sort of lay out for everybody. But I want to really make a solid session 0 and have everybody like contribute to.
I'm cool if people don't want to learn it, but I also have the books for the D20.
I used to play Saga back in the day.
Yes, and so I have. Man, it's funny.
You're talking about the revised D20 or when they did Saga?
Saga, the one with the books are like
they're really wide.
Yeah, they're wide and not.
Those are the Saga ones. Yeah, okay.
And I have a good collection of those. I even saw this at Gen Con. I thought about rounding up my collection.
That's cool. Yeah, I played a Saga game back in the day, and it was, despite it being, I mean, it's essentially 3.5.
It's 3.5 Star Wars.
Yeah, but it was fun.
I think I actually remember that one. Didn't they base like the KOTOR system off of that?
There's some overlap.
I think there's a rule book for it too.
There's a Knights of the Old Republic campaign guide. It's not necessarily from KOTOR the game, but it's the same.
Because they also have Legacy
Same
of
milieu.
Force too, which was
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like post, like
The thing is, and that's one of the things I'm going to bring up tomorrow night is that despite Saga being 3.5 and people have feelings about 3.5 and running 3.5 and playing 3.5, and people have feelings about the old D6 Star Wars from West End Games, right?
yeah.
Despite those things, there's a ton of material out there.
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
So
yeah.
it considerably lessens the prep work on my end because I can just open up a book and go, oh, here's an Imperial. Here's the stats for an Imperial Snowtrooper.
Yeah.
Oh, done.
Yeah,
Here.
done. Yeah.
We're ready to go. Whereas opposed to the 5e version that I had led with, that's very, despite it being pretty robust, it's still very early days. So a lot of it I would have to craft myself or reskin things to work. Does that make sense?
You can do.
Which I can do. That's why we're going to talk about it.
It
Right?
just takes a lot more
Yeah.
All right.
time.
We wanna nail down.
Who's thinking about coming out for it? Who do we have like
It's at the Sage's shop, so not me.
That
Okay.
one.
That one.
Because I love
Number
Star
two?
Wars.
I think Maria said that she was going to be there.
Yeah, she's on.
Robert planned to be there. Lance was thinking about coming as well. I'm looking at a group of about from like 4 to 6
Right.
people.
The thing about me, though, is if Lance doesn't come, I don't have a ride, so I probably
Right.
won't be there unless he's there.
And I also that's why I made the event like a public event as opposed to a critical mass event. I put it on the page for Sages and everything like that to kind of as a kind of an open call to people if they want to come in and be interested and
See who's
sit in,
yeah.
see who's going to be in it, and if they're interested in it.
Star Wars is my least favorite.
IP.
So, yeah.
I like Star Wars, but I don't like to play Star Wars.
Oh,
And if it's at the Sage's shop, I don't go because someone has to be here with our child.
I mean, no, that's totally fair. So, cool. All right, Nick.
There's nothing to say that could not then move
Here.
here.
But I probably still won't play.
But I'm holding it at the Sage's shop because Tom is also said he was. I think from what I understood, Tom said he was interested in
I think he's
because
pretty.
we were talking about it in the Spelljammer thread.
He's pretty. That thread. So. All right, cool.
So we'll just see. We'll see who shows up tomorrow night, and we'll talk. And if it's something that like there are a handful of us, and it would feel better to just be here on Monday nights and more comfortable, and we could stay for longer if that was necessary, because then we don't have to worry about you guys closing up or whatever. Then that's fine.
The nice part is, if we'll see who shows up, and if you find yourself with a lot of people, then maybe I'll just you guys do your thing. But if you need it, if the slots are there, and we play at the shop, I do have a key. So
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we want to find out when Lance's availability is going to be for Sundays then? Because I don't know if we need to go back to afternoons maybe, so Lance can come. I don't
Yeah,
know
I'll
how
have to
that
talk to him
work
about
with
this.
Zach.
He got a new job recently.
Yeah, I saw that on.
Wakes up in the morning.
Facebook,
And,
yeah.
It's got to be work at 5 a.m.
Which is that doesn't seem worth it
No.
for money.
It's awful.
Yeah, that's.
But I didn't know if you wanted to like maybe put up
Not
a
college
poll
credit,
of different
not for money.
games and different like who
I'll work
could
at a
come to
farm
what
and you don't get
times.
upset.
I'm gonna I'll message Lance to see what if he gets an idea of what his schedule's going to be like the next couple of days, and we'll figure out what we need to do about the Sunday timing. Whether he just
Everybody's-
I wouldn't be able to do afternoons for the
Okay.
next semester.
that was
Okay,
that
that's
was
what
that was my
was
assumption
yeah.
already with you.
That you would have to
Yeah.
do evenings, and
Because
we'll
I'm
see
usually
what Lance can do.
driving 3
Yeah,
to
I'm pretty
6 hours to get back here on time.
I'm an
Yeah, I
evening
think-
guy too.
Well, obviously, I'll talk to Lance. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. If he has to sort of bow out on Sundays and then maybe only make the Monday stuff or whatever, then
cool.
so be it.
And so I'm assuming next Sunday's plans will be dependent on Lance's.
Yes. So nothing currently scheduled for next Sunday as of yet. There's going to be something, but I don't know what it is yet. It might be.
I've got an idea that I've
Every time
been
I see it, I'm
working
like,
on,
what's the
No.
surprise?
and I would like to field some of it. Been working on a White Wolf idea of a kind of collective campaign. I can never remember
Oh,
what
right.
they refer to those
Yeah.
chronicles.
Chronicles of Darkness.
Yeah, but specifically, it's a chronicle that branches out not just from a single book, but to multiple.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So the main idea for it would basically be everybody living under the same roof in a college town, be it just cheap housing, be it near the university or something like that.
I just stopped that. Please, please stop. I don't want to bring back those memories. That's me not having a job. The plague on society.
So everyone under the same roof, some people being ghosts, some people being werewolves, some people being vampires.
Exactly. And leaving that up to the players as to, since each of those, for lack of a better word, I will refer to them as species,
Sure.
come with their own kind of baggage and expectations and things that they explore. Great example is Vampire. Vampire explores very heavily the idea of what does it mean to be alive. Changeling explores identity. So if there's something like that which like draws you in, you're like, oh, that's interesting. I'd love to do a character that explores what does it mean to be human, or what is morality. Those kind of things.
They did just release the new version of Vampire the Masquerade.
5e for Vampires come out. I know a couple of people who are like prepping games of it, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. But I've got a lot of the old, I think 4th or what they qualified as New Chronicles of Darkness.
That would have been Vampire the Requiem, I think, at that point.
Yep. Requiem.
There's also Masquerade the 20th Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
Which is really the older stuff.
And I was looking at more so the newer stuff, or I guess the middle of the road between those two, because it does trim down a lot of stuff. It doesn't get as deep. You don't necessarily need to dive as deep into each book to understand how things work. That's kind of been the idea so far. I've got materials for... I'm going to forget the editions for these. I think I've got them written down. Yeah, Werewolf the Forsaken, Vampire the Requiem, Mage the Awakening, Geist the Sin Eater, Changeling the Lost, and Hunter the Vigil.
So those are all New World of Darkness stuff. Yeah, those are all the new, as opposed to the
classic
early
World of
90s
Darkness
stuff. Yeah.
Cool.
So
I've
it's
got that on the table as a possibility.
You remember we did the Chronicles of Darkness game. It's the same era, the same storytelling system, the same style of publishing. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and general idea would be to start everybody off as standard mortal, and then through sessions you might get one where you're literally spotlit on this is how you die, and come back, and how the group deals with that. And then all the baggage that comes along with that to provide new plot hooks and storylines. So that's the pitch.
Cool.
Does sound cool.
Yeah.
I'll put that on the docket, and then I'll talk to Lance and see what happens.
Cool.
And how is Reichbusters looking?
Haven't touched it because I've been busy on the show.
But it's done now. The show's over now.
The show is done now.
Yay.
Until the next show.
We need to. Well, first of all, we need to complete the playtest scenario,
Got
and
like 2 more
then
copies.
Stephen and I will need to review the recording and make some adjustments, perhaps in just base mechanics or just balancing stuff, and then we'll need to do another playtest run to see how those change the game. So, but it's still it's in a very as you saw before, it's in a very playable state. So,
And I don't know if there's going to be a next show at Myers Dinner Theater for you.
it's hot there, like really hot in the building all the time.
I did not know about this. What is this?
Myers Dinner Theater's in Hillsborough,
Okay.
and it is it's a dinner theater that has a vaguely Christian bent. It doesn't necessarily... I mean, they're not doing Pilgrim's Progress every 2 months, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But, so they don't do really edgy stuff. They do a lot of musicals and material that would appeal to their main demographic, which is buses full of old people that show up on Wednesday afternoons.
So lots of old
Saturday
white
afternoon.
people.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. There are bus tours that come in and they stop and they eat some bland food and then watch,
very bland
The Unsinkable Molly Brown or She Loves Me or, whatever. So,
Meet Me in St. Louis
Yeah.
and Cafe Noir.
Murder in Cafe Noir is
Murder in
really
Cafe
good.
Noir is coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So,
pay.
I mean, that's, you pay money, you get your dinner, and then you watch the show. And
But they do pay the
Oh,
actors, which is fine.
paying gig. Oh.
But it is a paying gig, which is why I've worked there 3 times now.
Yeah.
But it's always
Nice.
hot.